All right, great. I think it's going. So my first question for you then, Justin, is no one else knows except me. So what's your name? Where are you located at? What's your business called? All that stuff.
So my name's Justin Tilley. Business is Tilley Brothers Electric. We're out of the Cleveland, Chattanooga, Tennessee area. Uh, my grandfather. What do you want to know some backstory on
Yeah,
my
yeah,
business?
go for it. Yeah.
So my grandfather, he done electrical for 42 years
Mhm.
in the Cleveland area, like done tons of houses in the area. And I started working with him, out of, in middle school,
Mhm.
high school, and then out of high school. And then in
Mhm.
20, 2015 or 2020, 2014, I took over, and he
Mhm.
retired, and now I'm still doing it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Cool. So my first question for you then is, let me pull it up. What were the main challenges or problems that you were facing before you started working with me?
Uh, so some of the problems was, for one, just the lead generation,
Mhm.
for leads coming in, because I mean, like, uh, there's always the Generac leads that come in through Power Play, but you
Mhm.
you might maybe get one a day if you're lucky, and that's
Uh-huh.
that's over a wide range of area too on the zip codes.
Mhm.
So I mean, like, that's not enough to keep your business running. So
Mhm.
you have to, reach out to people like you to get leads coming in, and then also too, like the leads with say like Generac per se,
Mhm.
they're going to other dealers, so it isn't
Yeah.
like you're getting like a for sure deal. And I feel like going through you guys it's more vetted. I guess people are more likely to buy in because
Mhm.
they are being marketed a different way, um, through, like, if they just go to Generac.com, they're
Mhm.
putting in information, but they're more window shopping than anything.
Yeah.
So those leads come in, say one a day, but that one a day you might get 10-15% sales on those leads,
Mhm.
when most of the leads that you guys send are, you know, 25 to 50% on sales,
Mhm. Yeah.
because they're a lot more willing to look into it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So they're more exclusive, or they are exclusive to begin with, and they're usually a lot higher quality too.
Yeah, and two, like, the cool thing is that, like, with Generac, they're going because of the Generac logo, the Generac brand, like, they're
Mhm.
going straight to them. So with us, it's actually coming to our business, like, hey, we do Generac, but, like, their
Yeah.
leads are coming to Tilley Brothers. It's not like, hey, we're just a dealer here. That
Mhm.
I feel like when you go through that, you're not really looked at for Tilley Brothers. You're looked at for, you're just a dealer,
Yeah.
that does Generac. So it's more personal, towards our business
Mhm.
um, than just being a generic dealer in the area, which
Yeah.
that helps out a whole lot. Uh,
Mhm.
Kind of just build, people like using local companies, and, you go to a big company like Lowe's, Home Depot, they're going to sub somebody out to do it, which
Mhm.
technically we do Lowe's jobs anyway. But uh, but the thing is like, when they come to our ads and they come to, us, they're getting a local guy, and they
Mhm.
can, look into their backstory, and people want that. They don't want to get the big box store guys and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it
Awesome.
just helps.
Yeah, absolutely. You already talked about it a little bit, but what kind of methods were you using mostly to generate your leads before you partnered with us? Was it mostly like word of mouth and referrals and just the manufacturer leads, or what were you doing really?
So, like, the word of mouth, I mean, it's okay, for what some of the stuff that we do,
Mhm.
because, but a lot of people with word of mouth, it's not good for, like, say, like a niche product.
Mhm.
Word of mouth can only take you so far.
Mhm.
The Facebook marketing, like, we went through, like, the marketing through Generac because, they sell you on the marketing stuff, but it's like a generic social media ad, and it's very cheap to get into that. But
Mhm.
there's hardly anything that comes from it because
Mhm.
so they post a post on there, but you have to ad market it and campaign it and throw money into it to get
Mhm.
it anywhere, and those don't hardly do anything.
Yeah.
It's really more marketing for them than anything, but it's just on my Facebook page. But
Mhm.
there's that, and then like I have tried like Home Advisor and places like that for Generac leads, and
Uh-huh.
they have leads for Generac or generators per se, not just Generac, but
Mhm.
they have leads like that, but they are going to like five different people, so it's just it's hard to find a good marketing brand. But I feel like we hit the nail on the head here with you
Yeah,
guys.
awesome. I appreciate that. I guess this is kind of like, reiterating what you already said, but how would you say that my service helped address some of those challenges or problems that you were facing before then?
Well, I mean, you're dedicated to the leads we get, so I mean, uh, the lead volume is massive. The
Mhm.
marketing is great. So I mean, we just have to go out there and sell them, but
Mhm.
they're there. It's not like we're having to worry about leads coming in. So that's
Yeah.
a big thing that has helped us out.
Mhm.
And then also too, I mean, it's never ending. It's You don't have to go back and check on it. You don't have to like make sure it's working.
Mhm.
That's what you're doing. So it
Yeah.
does take a lot of stress off, and uh, you know, heck, for me, it really saves a position of having someone in an office that does that.
Yeah.
So that's like a big score there. Is I think it has a lot of value.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you have any numbers off the top of your head, but do you know what kind of results you've seen since we started working together? Maybe like the number of installs you've done roughly, kind of like ballpark if you don't know exactly, or how much revenue you've made, those kind of things.
Since we've started, I think that we have done. I know for a fact we've sold one a week at least
Mhm.
from the leads coming in. I know
Awesome.
that for a fact. But I want to say that we've had at least 10 to 15 installs.
Uh-huh.
Um, which I mean, like that's staying on the leads too. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like a relationship. Like not one person can make it work. You got to have two people. So it
Mhm.
falls on us to sell and get stuff done.
Yeah.
So I mean, like realistically, if if I could get all of the leads situated, then we would probably be like 50 installs right now.
Mhm. Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
we're probably at 15, 20, I would say, which is amazing. I mean, that's a lot better because when we started out going through just like power play through Generac,
Mhm.
man, we might have had like three in a course of 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
Uh, so it has really grown, and we're at the basic level, so we have so much room to
Yeah.
grow. So
That's awesome.
the future looks very good.
Yeah, and do you remember too off the top of your head how long we've been working together? I want to say like 3 or 4 months or something like that, maybe. Or
Yeah, I think we started. Was it June or July when we started?
yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, June or July, so a few months, like 3 or 4 months at this point. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. And you've
So I
gotten
mean,
15
yeah,
to 20
20
installs.
installs and that
Yeah,
15 20. It's pretty
yeah.
good.
And then also on that too, I require that people spend at least $50 per day on the ad spend with me now. And you were for most of that time, if I remember right, you were doing $35 a day. So you were even under the budget that
Yeah,
I recommend people do now, and you're still got 15 or 20 installs. That's
yeah.
sweet.
So
Yeah.
we're kicking butt.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then also too with that, I know that you brought on a sales guy since we started working together too, right?
Yeah. So that goes back to where I was talking about having a relationship and
Mhm.
getting our end of the relationship done. So when I hired this, so before I hired the sales guy, uh, gosh, we were still probably getting at least one a week, maybe one every 2 weeks. But
Mhm.
since the sales guy came on and he's like going after those leads, which, like you said, you have to get them within 15 minutes
Mhm.
to really, get on their radar. But once we got him in place, man, like we've sent so many proposals off, and some of the people, they'll wait like a week or two, maybe a month, but
Mhm.
they're still sales.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd say since we had that in place, we've gotten a lot better.
Mhm.
Um, but like the leads aren't the problem.
Mhm. It's just the
So
sales on
that's
the
a good
back
thing.
end. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it really, to be honest, I mean, it's just the competitiveness.
mhm.
That's the biggest thing. There's so many people selling Generac, but
Yeah.
and they all wanna be cheaper than everybody.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, and that's a good question for you too. I guess, like relative to other people in your market, are you like kind of average priced, or are you like a little bit cheaper than others? Are you higher priced, or like where do you kind of stand against other people?
so we are consistently cheaper
Hmm.
than everyone in the market. And the reason why I say consistently is because Home Depot and Lowe's, I have learned over, the past year or so of really hitting Generac, is
Hmm.
that they have periods of the year where they'll have like these special sales,
Hmm.
and with the special sales, they'll be like super cheap. And the reason is because they're they don't care if they take a loss making the sale. They want to sell so they can
Hmm.
finance, and they're making their money on the financing. So they look
Yeah.
super cheap, but they're eventually not cheap. So that's why I
Mhm.
say we're consistently, because we don't change our prices to reflect a sale or stuff like that. We just are the best price to begin with.
Mhm.
Uh, so
Yeah.
so we're consistently the best price, and I have like seen where people are at least 15, 16, $17,000 for install on a
Mhm.
unit that we're installing for 13 to 14.
Mhm. And,
Um,
and do you still make good profit margins on those too, or what does that look like?
oh yeah. So I mean, like on those installs, I probably do a good somewhere around like 30% on profit margin on those.
Awesome. Nice.
And well, I don't say like the full cost, just the installs. What I was getting at, 30 to 40% on install.
Mhm.
Uh, the unit itself, I mean, we're doing MSRP, so there's a little bit there. It's not
Mhm.
like a big cost,
Yeah.
but
Gotcha. Awesome. All right. So, what aspects of the system that I run for you guys would you say that you like the most?
yeah. It's a good question. I would say probably that uh, I like how you refresh it a lot. So like if you run an ad for I think several days to a week or something like that, you're
Mhm.
refreshing the ad and it
Mhm.
constantly stays fresh. And then
Mhm.
also too, I've noticed little things about that. So like there's sometimes people comment and you comment back. And
Mhm.
I'm like, "Hey, he did that."
Yeah.
And so like that's pretty cool because
Mhm.
sometimes I don't get to everything. And
Yeah.
that's pretty neat. But I,
Mhm.
I like that aspect. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then also too, I mean, honestly, you stay on top of me on checking back in,
Mhm. Yeah.
and it keeps keeps me in good spirits.
Mhm. Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate that. How would you describe your experience overall with us to someone who's thinking about using our services?
Do it.
Yeah.
uh,
Awesome.
I mean, I honestly think if we hadn't came together, I
Mhm.
don't think that we would be doing what we're doing right now.
Mhm.
We would still be, maybe selling one or two a month,
Mhm.
uh, and it being a struggle.
Mhm.
Um, with now, it's not nearly as bad a struggle. Plus, I mean, too, you're not relying on Generac or other companies to send you a lead
Mhm.
that you have to fight for.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing is that, um, you know, and two, when they send you a lead and they look at your dealer locator thing might not be as good as the other dealers out there, but they don't see that. They just see like, hey, these guys are all flashy. Let's go to
Mhm.
them. With the ads that we have, we can provide a good price with a good ad. I mean,
Mhm.
people really like it, and it really stands out. A lot of people see the price thing, but
Mhm.
a lot of people too want to know the price up front, which is kind of hard to work around. But
Mhm. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So final question for you then. So what would you say to other generator installers who are maybe considering, using my service and going with me, but they're kind of just on the fence about it? You know?
uh, I mean, it's money well spent.
Mhm.
Uh, you could have somebody doing what you're doing for, say $12 to $15 an hour.
Mhm.
You're going to pay that person, anywhere from 500 to 700 a week,
Mhm.
depending on what they're doing. And, say they're marketing for you, and, that person has a lot of downtime. So you're wasting money on that person to sit around and do stuff for you.
Mhm.
So, having someone like you, it's all included in one price, and
Mhm.
you're really pushing it. So I feel like it's way cheaper than hire someone to do that, but you're
Mhm.
getting more value out of it.
Yeah.
So really, if somebody's on the fence about spending the money, I would say, you're gonna spend more money in a different direction
Mhm.
for less value when you could spend less money for more value. And also, I mean, the results are there, so
Mhm.
it's not something that you have to be scared of.
Yeah.
uh and too, like, there's always risk in business, but like when people have, you know grown from what you're doing, I mean, you can't doubt that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's there.
Absolutely.
So I would say take the risk, even though it's not really a risk.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Got you. I really appreciate that, Justin. That was my last question for you. I'll probably stay on this call for like a minute or two after this, but I'm just going to end the recording. So thanks so much for doing this
Okay.
for me. Yeah.
Okay.